Hi, I'm Doug. Welcome back to our series on making your home more efficient. This week we're talking about domestic hot water. So if you have any home, not just an old home, you probably have the standard technology of the round white water tanks. That technology has been around since the Stone Age, and it works well. You know, it's not that efficient. They run at I don't know, about 55-60%. They're not that efficient, but they're reliable. Now, the thing that I would like you to do is I would like you to pause this video, run downstairs, take a look at your water tank, and see if it's a naturally aspirated water tank. Now, that's the kind that's, you have the water tank, and then you have about an inch of space, and then you have a metal cap, and then you have the flue. Now, take a look at that and see if there's any corrosion or any rust on that. If you have rust or corrosion, you might want to think about changing your water tank just for safety's sake. What happens with these naturally aspirated water tanks is that if you turn on your kitchen fan and your bathroom fan, or a window's open and the gust comes around or whatever, it creates negative pressure in the house. And so with that negative pressure, what can happen is the exhaust gases come back down the flue and it just goes into your mechanical room. So it's generally accepted that carbon monoxide in the house is a bad thing. So what you want to do is go with the newer style of the power vented water tank. Power vented water tank, exactly the same technology in heating the water, but on top they've glued on a fan. And so what happens, the water tank comes on, starts heating the water, the fan opens a valve, and power vents, it exhausts the gases outside. And so there won't be any backdrafting going on with that. So it makes it more efficient. These water tanks they're 46 cubic meters more efficient per year. So they're a bit more efficient. And why that is when the valve's closed, you don't have the heat just radiating out the flue. That's where you get your efficiency from. The other nice thing about those is if you're renovating your property or your bungalow or whatever it is, and you're venting your furnace and your water tank out the side, you can get that space where the old chimney used to be, the flue is. So you can get that space and build it back, and you can turn it into a closet or a cupboard or whatever. So you get that square footage back. So that's two reasons why you want to go with the power vented water tank. Now, the other kind that's getting some traction is the demand system. Now, that's the box that goes on the wall, and when you turn on your tap, flame comes on, heats the water, you turn off the tap, shuts off. Those are fabulous if you want a 3-day shower. You never run out of hot water. One of the issues with it is if you're doing dishes or something, you just use a little bit of hot water, turn it off, turn it on, turn it off. You won't get hot water because you need to have a demand. You need to have a constant demand for the hot water to run through the lines. So some people don't like it for that reason. The other factor is if you have a demand system, you have to have it maintained once a year. So unless you're doing it yourself, there's going to be an expense with that. So that really does, that certainly wipes out your economic savings. On those demand systems, we saved 186 cubic meters of gas per year. However, we burnt 17 kilowatt hours more electricity, so that electrical consumption does mitigate the amount of gas that we're saving. Now, one other thing about water tanks is I see it fairly commonly in newer townhouse style condos that they are using electric water tanks. Schmeck, 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 schmeck. Don't do that. That's crazy. As we know, the BTUs on electricity is far more expensive. It's about 4 or 5 times more expensive per BTU to get your electricity than your gas. So they're very inefficient. Although at the tank it's 100% efficiency, except your radiant loss. So if you have electric water tank, talk to the builder and say, what the heck are you thinking? Or if you have one, get it out and get a power vented water tank. So for me, in my house, I've just gone with the power vented water tank. Even with those bigger ones, you can do your in-floor heat with those, and they're reliable. You don't have to maintain them much. So my vote goes with those. A little bit more efficient, not as much savings as the demand system, but on the whole, I like the power vented hot water tanks. If you want to go with the demand system, Alberta Energy is giving rebates on those things. So if you're doing that, make sure you get your money from those guys. That's it for water tanks. Thanks for checking in. We'll see you next week.